Yeah, awesome. Yo, Blair, what's going on? So what's happening, party people? We're gonna start today. Originally I was gonna do this on April 1st, yesterday. I was gonna do all of the end of month news stuff, but then I remembered there was literally a Nintendo Direct this morning. Like the next day there would have been even more shit. So when it says AI-powered PlayStation characters, what the fuck does that mean? We can just jump right into this. So what's happening, party people? This was, I think, one of the first things that dropped after the last time we did this. So basically, Sony is experimenting with AI-powered PlayStation characters. This is a write-up from The Verge by Tom Warren. Oh no, it's all good, Blair. So basically, what they're doing and what they did was they took an AI model and created a version of Aloy. This was an internal thing that Sony developed, and then they sent it off to, could be very good or very bad. Oh, this is terrible. This is actually very bad. So they took a model. Sorry, hang on. Let's interact. Get out of here, ads. They took an AI-generated video, basically. They created an AI-generated video of their protagonist, Aloy, from the Horizon games. Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West, Call of the Mountain. And basically, it was just her standing there, trying to emote. She said some dialogue. But they didn't use any of Ashley Birch's performance, the actor for Aloy. They didn't use any of her performance for the model. But basically, they said, hey, this is something we could use. Let's see if they... So, I don't think the video is up anymore. The video was circulating for a while. Yeah, this is a GIF of what it looked like. That's AI generated. They used, like, somebody else's, like, face modeling. Looks very weird. Looks awful. Like, it looks so stilted. Like, she goes from such a neutral to, you know, expressing. The mouth doesn't look right. It looks so bad. But basically, they sent this around some studios, including Guerrilla Games, who makes Horizon. And Guerrilla Games was like, no, we don't like this. We didn't make this. Like, when it got leaked online, they were like, no. Like, we didn't make this, we wouldn't do this. Ashley Birch, the actor for Aloy, she put out a short, like, a little thing on Instagram or something, and she was basically like, this sucks. This is why we are on strike. This is why video game actors are on strike. This is why, you know, SAG-AFTRA is standing with us, because they're doing shit like this. You know? This is why we're on strike. We need to fight against this stuff. Every time we see it, say nothing and just move on with our lives. We let them get away with shit. So we can't let them get away with it. I think she expressed concern for, you know, job security, which again is why they are on strike, is to maintain job security. But yeah, I'm sure people are tired of me harping on it for so many months, possibly over a year at this point, but every time a company even like whispers about using AI, even a little bit, I'm blowing a whistle, and I don't want people to forget that these things are happening, because this could go nowhere. Sony could see the backlash for this, and then it goes nowhere, it's shut down, and it's never heard from again. They never say the words artificial intelligence again. They never say AI again. The new Horizon game comes out, Horizon 3, whatever that's going to be, and Ashley Birch is fully Aloy. Aloy is fully Ashley Birch. The performance is 1-to-1, like, married like this. Like, 1000% that is her performance. No AI was used whatsoever. But I feel like if we let them forget, they might try and get away with some shit, you know? So I feel like we need to consistently stay on top of this shit. Stay on top of, or at least don't let them forget. You know, like, hey, I remember, like Capcom saying they're using AI for RE9 in, like, a pre-production aspect. Don't know what that means, but don't let them forget, you know. I will be asking when Resident Evil 9 comes out. I want to play Resident Evil 9. However, I don't want to give them money for something they didn't make, you know? If they're using stolen assets. Now, one of two things. When it comes to them using artificial intelligence in... we'll just use Resident Evil 9 as an example. If they ask it to generate some ideas, and then they pay real artists to use that as inspiration, saying, hey, we want something like this, but original, something from you. Just, here's a mood board. If they use the AI images as a sort of mood board, or a sort of like, here's my vision wall, here's what I want it to kind of feel like, what I want it to look like. Okay. Again, you're not stealing anybody's art for the final product. The stolen product is not making it into the final product. You are paying real artists to look at that and say, okay, I see what you're going for. Let me make something. And then they're paid for their work. That is awesome. That is fine. I mean, aside from the part where these generative AI models are bad for the environment. That's just a separate thing that is always going to be bad. There's two big bad things. There's stealing work and art, and then there's bad for the environment. That's just always gonna be there until... If they can make, like, generative AI models carbon negative... Like, that sounds fucking impossible, but if that happens, awesome. But yeah, if they use it as like a mood board and say, I want something like this, and then real artists go off and make something, that's fine. The alternative is if they pay a bunch of artists, or they take a bunch of work already from Resident Evil, like they take... It's like super bad for the environment. Oh yeah, it's terrible. To be fair, there's a bunch of things that are terrible for the environment, and there is no ethical consumption under consumerism. Like, that's just always how it is, you know? Like, buying bottled water, you know, the bottle itself could be recycled, but the plant that it was recycled at probably spews some kind of terrible carbon emission. You know, that's always just going to be a thing. What was I saying? Oh, if they take a bunch of work from Resident Evil, if they funnel in, like, the 13 mainline Resident Evil games, you know, Resident Evil 1 through 8, 0, if they take the Revelation games, Origins, if they take all the Resident Evil games, Code Veronica, funnel those into a completely blank, like system, a completely new model. If it is a completely dry, new model that has nothing in it, and they feed in only the things that they own. Capcom owns all of the Resident Evil stuff. If Capcom builds a model off of the things that they already own, from things that they've already paid artists for and own the rights to, you know, legally speaking, Capcom owns that work. If they feed it in there to make something, like if they wanted to make a new Tyrant, like a new super boss that walks around the stage to attack you. If they feed in all the other Tyrants from the previous games, all the boss encounters from all the other Resident Evil games, to make a sort of, like, disgusting amalgamation of, like, oh, here's an AI generated, here's a unique, or not unique, but here's like a, based on the other Tyrants, here's what a Tyrant could look like. And then they use that. Legally speaking, I guess that's okay. That makes me feel a little icky. That does make me feel a little gross. But legally speaking, they own all of the Capcom. Capcom owns all the Resident Evil stuff. So legally speaking, they can do that. But yeah, I think best case scenario is if they're just using it as a mood board to then pay artists. But that's the thing. For internal development, these things are almost never talked about. They just... offhandedly, one of the producers just offhandedly said, oh yeah, one of the tools we're using for Resident Evil 9 is generative AI. We're using the Gemini model from Google. You know, making video games takes so long nowadays. We gotta move so fast. And it's like, dog, if you don't love the process, why are you still doing it? Greedy Money-grubbing men. Get out of here, fucking ads. I don't care. No, get out of here, Nature Made. I already take supplements. Yes, I took my pills. Get out of here, Nature Made. Not sponsored. Anyway, yeah, about this Sony experimenting with AI. Again, it does say experimenting with AI. It's a little gross thing. In my head, this is a gross thing where a producer said, what if? And everybody involved, like, once it was made and people saw it because it was made in secret, like, everybody who saw it was like, that's nasty. That's gross. I mean, then don't do crunch. Yes! Oh my gosh! If your game needs time, okay. Yeah, basically, I just wanted people to be aware that this is a thing that is happening internally at Sony. Is somebody said, what if, last month, and a bunch of people were like, no, that's gross. All of these, as always, all of these articles that I'll be going over will be made available after the stream. I'm just going to post all these. I will also post Ashley Birch's response video, where she was talking about, like, the actress for Aloy, where she's talking about, like, hey, this makes me feel icky inside. Like, obviously there's more nuance to that, and she's very concerned for her fucking job, as she should be, but there are DLCs, so people don't need crunch. See, I'm of two minds. I hate the idea now that if there is something that they're working on, if there's something that a studio is working on, they can just say, tee-hee, we'll put it behind a paywall. We'll put it behind, like, it's done, or, like, it's not done yet, but, you know, we're working on it. Instead of, like, waiting for everything to be done and then launch a game, they can say, we're going to charge you full price for 75% of the experience and then make you pay another $30 for the last 25% of the experience. Looking at you, Asura's Wrath. I know I always bring that one up, but, like, oh, there's some small ones, like multiplayer for Suika game being paid for DLC for like $3. It's like nothing, but still, that bothers me. Sometimes there's a lot of like I've seen day one DLC where it's like, hey, so the game comes out at an MSRP of like $60, $70, and then if you pay like $100, you get the game and an extra level. If they need to get a game out right then and there because it might go out of business, yeah, that's fair. But I mean, like, I think the best DLC models are when a game comes out, they see that it does well, and then they start working on DLC. I think Shadow of the Erdtree was one of those. Like, I don't think DLC was originally planned for Elden Ring, but then they just started working on stuff, and they were like, hey, we made, like, Elden Ring did great, and in working on, I don't fucking know, whatever that other one is coming out where it's, like, 3-player online, I don't know what it's called, but, like, Elden Ring with Dark Soul bosses, whatever that is. They're like, hey, we made more Elden Ring, do you guys want more Elden Ring? $50. I don't know if it's, I think it's like 40, but I think it's what Ubisoft are doing with Shadows aside from the first DLC they're dropping. Yeah, like, the DLC for Assassin's Creed, at least the, like, recent ones, have not felt super integral to the story. It doesn't feel like they're cutting out parts of the story and then making you pay for them. It's just, like, fun, goofy, additional shit. Like, I've not played the DLC for Assassin's Creed, I think, ever. I don't think I've ever played an expansion pack for Assassin's Creed, but I used to work at a GameStop, so I had to tell people, like, hey, do you like Odyssey? You could go to Atlantis. Trials of Atlantis, or whatever that was called. Like, that's goofy. That's like, I don't want to say taking the piss, but anyway. I'll move on from this. Just know that this is what Sony's thinking about, and it's bad. I think Odyssey, genuinely, outside looking in, I don't want to get like too lost in the weeds on Assassin's Creed. I'm glad that Shadows is reviewing well. You know, people who actually bought the game are enjoying it. Shadows feels like a great Mirage, and then Shadows feels like a great return to the actual stealth-based ideas of Assassin's Creed. Because I look at Odyssey, and I look at the gameplay of Odyssey, and the combat looks really cool in Odyssey. If the combat looks awesome in your stealth game, that it detracts from the stealth game, in my opinion. I want to incentivize me to sneak, not combat. But like Greek Soldier and then Viking, those look like cool games, but those should have been kind of their own thing. Those don't scream Assassin's Creed to me. I don't know what the story is. I don't know how integral the Templars are to Greece, but, you know. I digress. I don't want to get too lost in the weeds on it. I'm going to move on. But yeah, this is bad. Speaking of bad, today I learned all of our physical disc games are rotting. This is a write-up from The Gamer by Eric Switzer. So this is specifically an issue with WB games, as though Warner Brothers has not been dealing with enough shit, or has not been causing enough shit. So basically, this revolves around disc rot. For people who don't know what disc rot is, everything gets old with time. You know, brick houses will eventually wear away. Wood will eventually rot, you know, get eaten by something. Clothes will eventually fray and tear. Like, everything is waste. And, let's see if this article talks about it. How long DVDs are supposed to last. Yeah. CDs, DVDs, and even Blu-rays are expected to last between 30 and 100 years. Considering the oldest DVDs ever produced, Mars Attacks and Twister, which are movies from, like, the 80s, aren't even 30 years old yet, it's clear that Warner Brothers are distributing defective discs. Oh no, Twister I think is, like, early 90s. I don't remember. Yeah, so, it seems like even before Zaslav was in charge, and okay, I will say David Zaslav, current head of WD Discovery, inherited a fucking mess. I think the last, like, 3 people in charge of WB have been really fucking whiffing it. They've been dropping the ball in their own way, and it seems like in a cost-cutting measure, Warner Brothers distributed a bunch of their movies and games and music on defective discs. So, the first time I heard about this was a movie write-up. Somebody said, like, oh, I really wanted to watch this Western from Warner Brothers, so I popped in my DVD. They had, like, one of those thick collections of, like, 30 old Western movies for $40. And it's, like, a big collection of DVDs. And every single one of them was, like, not working. And this person thought, like, that's crazy. It can't be 30 DVDs that aren't working. It must be my DVD player that's the problem. So they plugged in their, like, PS2 and tried the discs on the PS2. Tried the DVDs on the PS2. Also were having issues there. So all of, I would double check your basic, look up distributors. Look up distribution to see what Warner Brothers has and hasn't been distributing, or what their products are, because not a lot of people will know, like fucking Tony Hawk, the Tony Hawk games, the old Harry Potter games that people love, Duke Nukem, Pitch Black. Like, there are a lot of things that Warner Brothers doesn't necessarily own directly, but they are distributors on, meaning that the DVDs that they're printed on are Warner Brothers DVDs, these defective ones. And I think I did, oh yeah, Warner Brothers recently started, the first thing in the fucking article, recently started an exchange program. So I will, like, triple make sure to drop this in, after the stream, I'll make sure to drop this with a note saying, hey, double check your WB products, they're offering an exchange program. I need to go through, I'm not 1,000% concerned with some DVDs. I am going to double check my Blu-rays, because honestly, if a DVD of mine is not working anymore, I'm definitely going to check my games. My games are more important to me. Like, it just means more to me to keep those around. But I think I, like, honestly, I'll double check movies that are important to me, but I'm not going to double check every single one of them. You know, I'd rather just upgrade to a Blu-ray if the DVD is gone. I will check all my Blu-rays though. I highly doubt the Blu-rays are also rotting. But yeah, just double check your WB products for disc rot. On the lighter side, Game Informer returns after being shut down by GameStop. So, GameStop has been dying for such a long time. Here's a quick rundown of what GameStop's been doing. When GameStop opened, they sold games. Then for a while, they did phones, and you could have your phone plan through GameStop. And at one point, movies. I have some movies that have GameStop stickers on them. And then eventually they bought Game Informer, which at one point was an independent publication. They bought it, and then after the meme stock shit happened during like 2019, 2020, they started burning down. Honestly, so between myself and my dad, we have every copy of Game Informer up until they were shut down. Like, my dad started getting Game Informer in the 90s, and, like, he had the subscription going, and then I had the subscription going. So between us, we have, like, every issue of Game Informer. I genuinely love physical print media magazines. I have every issue of the PlayStation magazine, because that ran for, like, 4 years, and then died. Genuinely, I love physical print media. I love physically having things like this. The last few issues of Game Informer, like within the last 2 years, even like the paper stock went down. Those pages were so thin. Like the older issues of Game Informer, you could hold it up to the light, and maybe it's a little lighter, but no light really passes through the page. I could probably read a digital clock through a Game Informer page in the last couple of years. The actual, like, paper that it was printed on had such a dip in quality. But yeah, a company, Gunzilla Games, which is a company I had never heard of. Apparently they're working on a battle royale or an MMORPG or something. They bought Game Informer and will operate independently from studio under Game Informer Inc. So basically they were given a production budget and free reign. Game Informer has since published a bunch of reviews for... Excuse me. I don't know how many of their original staff they've hired back, but they've published a bunch of reviews post closure. Between when they closed and when they were bought, their website has published a bunch of new reviews. I don't know if they'll be coming back in a physical form. Let's see if it says whole team previously laid off. Oh, the whole team who were previously laid off has returned, and the website has been reinstated with its back content. When it was shut down, the site was completely stripped of articles, which prevented staff from saving their work. Focus, game celebrating. Miller concluded, I'm deeply grateful for the trust and enthusiasm from the team at Gunzilla. They see the same potential in Game Informer as our team does. Yeah, so I don't know if it'll be coming back as a physical publication. I really hope it does. But Game Informer... Oh, last thing from Game Informer. Speaking of Game Informer, last little nugget from them. They still have a bunch of money from the meme stock stuff. They're just afraid to spend, except on Bitcoin, apparently. In a recent shareholder meeting with all of their shareholders at GameStop, they did say that they will be adding Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to the list of acquisitions that they can buy, trade, and sell. Oh, GameStop. I'm glad I got out when I did, and I'm glad I'm able to say, like, I was on the front lines for some of that shit. You know, I worked at GameStop during some of this bullshit. Thankfully, I got out before COVID, so I wasn't there for all of, like, the meme stock stuff and all of that. Like, the stuff that the movie Dumb Money is talking about, that was after my time at GameStop, but I saw some of their bullshit. Oh my god, some of the corporate bullshit at GameStop. Yuck. Yeah, no, it sucks that GameStop is in such a bad place, but I'm so glad that Game Informer was saved from the ashes. This is a good thing. Okay. The last couple things that I have are the two big things that happened last week and then this morning as of time of recording, time of being live. Nintendo Direct. There were 2 Nintendo Directs within like a week of each other, which was their plan, but also why. So this is for the March Direct 2025, so this was from March 27th, about a week ago. Let's see if it just gives us a list. Perfect. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake. I still think these names are dumb. For anybody that knows me, I love the original Dragon Quest trilogy. When Akira Toriyama, the art director for these games, passed away, I played through the... for hype? Yeah, I know. But I played through the original Dragon Quest when Toriyama passed away. And, man, that game still... It had been so long since I played it. But that game still... Like, the very first one... It's really bright and saturated, and it hurts my eyes. But there's also something really nostalgic about it, and, like, its simple color palette. I have not played anything past, like, Dragon Quest 4, maybe 5, and I don't even remember them. I'm waiting for Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake to go on sale, hopefully on, like, the PlayStation Store, but I also have it wishlisted on Steam. For remakes, unless it's, like, a Spyro or Ratchet and Clank, like, my favorite franchises ever, I'm not going to get remasters or remakes or stuff. Like, at this point, I don't think I can justify really buying any game at full price. Yeah, just with where I'm at, I have to wait for games to go on sale, which is fine in all honesty. I will always have plenty of games to play. I will always have plenty of things to play. So I've not gotten around to Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake, but they did show off some stuff for Dragon Quest 1-2 Remake Collection, which I'm excited for. You can't see it on the screen. Actually, if I minimize, no, that's just the PlayStation, which is off. All right. On the same monitor that I have this article up on, the desktop background is the same art piece that is the thumbnail with, like, it's reversed here. Like, my version, they're looking the opposite direction, but this art piece, the full version, is the desktop background. I think the artwork, it looks so good. I think that the HD 2D Remake pixel art looks so good. Like, can we get some... Like, yeah, I think that's beautiful. The Somnium Files 3. No sleep for Kamine Date from The Somnium Files. So, there are... my partner loves these games. I was in the room for some of them. I don't remember which game was which, but I was in the room for The Somnium Files, and then Nirvana, or no, it's The Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative. The Somnium Files, Nirvana Initiative. I think. I don't think it's Nirvana Initiative. But yeah, this one is called No Sleep for Kamine Date from The Somnium Files. The third game in the franchise. These are really fun, weird, like, whodunit, cyber, security kind of. You go into people's brains, I think you use, like, if you see the main character here, he's got, like, a yellow eye. He's got, like, an AI living in his head that, like, projects things that happen. Like, oh, based on the evidence that I see in front of me, let me project what happened. Again, I was just in the room for these games. I would like to play them. I've heard the first one is incredible. The second one I've heard is hit and miss for some people. My partner likes both of them. Tried one of those, not for me, unfortunately. Yeah, they're very, I would say they're sort of like a cross between Ace Attorney games and Telltale games, where it's like, oh, you gotta walk around and talk to people, and sometimes there's puzzles, you have to find evidence, all that stuff. Minecraft's April 1st update seems very interesting. Basically, it's a roguelike Minecraft. I mean, there's so many different Minecraft versions out. I'm not surprised they're trying to roguelike. Rido, this is for somebody. Rido Remastered: The Mystery of the Soulless Army. This is a game I have never heard of, but I do know that every game... Hey, look, that looks like the Persona artwork. If anybody remembers the original artwork for Persona and then, like, Persona 2, characters look like this. Yeah, if I know anything about JRPGs, there will always be a fan of something. Like, this is for somebody. Like, look at... I'm wearing a fucking, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! T-shirt today. That collection of Game Boy remasters that came out for the Switch, of, like, 10 Game Boy games spanning from the original to the color to the advance. Like, I've never played those games before, but that was for me. I bought that. I played some fucking old-school Yu-Gi-Oh! An action combat system Shin Megami Tensei game that I've wanted to play for ages. Yeah, no, I think it looks great. Again, I just have so many games to play. Considering this is a remaster and it's not a game I have ever heard of, and I don't particularly... Like I said, this is for somebody. I'm glad this is happening. Yeah, not really for me. Glad it's happening, though. It's for somebody. Shadow Labyrinth. Pac-Man. Pac-Man. Really click with me, too. Awesome. I would love to give the original SMT games a chance. Like, I like Persona. Even like, God, Persona 1. I remember playing every Persona game, all 6 of them, at least like a little bit, and being like, wow, okay, cool. I need to finish them. I'm really bad at finishing JRPGs. I'm not gonna lie. Like, off stream, I'm so bad about it. I was playing through Kingdom Hearts 2 off stream. I'm literally at the final boss fight for Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm up at the top of the tower. Xemnas is right there waiting for me. Haven't finished it yet. It's a replay. I'm not concerned about it. I mostly started the playthrough for, like, a bunch of achievements and trophies that I didn't have before. Like, beating all the secret bosses. Like, I think I was working on the data versions of some of the bosses. Max out level and stuff. But yeah, no, I'm so bad at completing JRPGs. Pac-Man. This looks interesting. And I will definitely be keeping an eye on Shadow Labyrinth. It just feels like... Do y'all remember, I think it was called, like, Bomberman R? Or maybe it was just called Bomberman for the Xbox 360. It was like a dark, gritty remake of Bomberman. Like, an arcade game. I was just saying a few months ago, I had Cyberpunk, Stranger's Paradise, Valhalla, all going at once. Ugh. Honestly, streaming doesn't make it much better, because I was working on Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories and .hack GU Volume 2. I was grinding levels in both of those off stream. It was rough. And I mean, on top, like, just RPG stuff, I also have the Melee-only Borderlands game going. Like, just in my off time, I'm not even playing other games, I'm just grinding levels in those. But Chain of Memories is done. What was I saying? Oh yeah, no, that gritty Bomberman remake. I don't want to say this gives me the same vibe, because this at least looks good. This doesn't look gritty for the sake of being gritty. I just like the Pac-Man, Pac-World, the 3D platformer Pac-Man World, I think is just what they're called. Like, I just like Pac-Man World. I played the remake, and then my partner really liked Pac-Man World, Pac-World 2. That was like the one she grew up with, so I played that one too. I would like a Pac-Man Pac-World 3. I'll take this, though. If this revitalizes interest in Pac-Man as a franchise, awesome. You know? keep these legacy characters alive. This caught me off guard. So Patapon 1 and 2 remaster replay. This is a PlayStation exclusive. This was a PlayStation exclusive franchise for the PSP. I don't even think there was a Patapon game on the Vita, which was the second PlayStation handheld. So getting a Patapon 1 and 2 remaster special edition on the Switch, like, I think it's great. Even though, like, oh, I'm a PlayStation fan and I should be in the PlayStation camp of, no, those are our games. Genuinely, I think the more people that are allowed to play games is a great thing. More people can experience the art that designers and developers put so much time, effort, and love into. Patapon is such a silly game, and I'm so excited for new people to discover Patapon. It's so silly. I'm hoping that this starts a little revolution of forgotten PlayStation franchises brought onto new hardware, even if it's like on the Switch. I personally would still like it on PlayStation because I'm a trophy hunter. That's just what I like, and PlayStation doesn't have those. Now, to be fair, Patapon didn't have trophies because it was released, I think Patapon 1 was released before Sony implemented trophies. No idea of Patapon. It's a little, it's like a little rhythm game of like these cute little, hang on, what if I full screen it? Yeah. See if we can get to some gameplay. Yeah, it's a little, circle, circle, square, circle. Oh, this official trailer, wait. Did they not even change the button input prompts? I didn't even notice that. Nintendo does not have those buttons. Nintendo doesn't have a square button. Yeah, it's and you have like all these little, it's very, if you know the, like, imagine the mini game. Imagine playing the Ocarina in Ocarina of Time, like just memorizing button patterns, like 4-piece button patterns, memorizing those, and then like those are different combat options, and you like have to do them in time. It's very silly. It's very cute. I like Patapon. Again, it's not for everybody. I don't even think I will get this, but I'm glad that this long forgotten franchise is being brought back for a new audience. Story of Seasons, which I think is what Harvest Moon turned into? Or is that vice versa? Did Story of Seasons turn into Harvest Moon? There was some franchise that got dirtied. They did the same with Persona 3 Portable. eShop screenshots will have the PlayStation buttons. That's so funny. God. So, I can't remember. So, these are not games for me. I've never played a Story of Seasons. I've never played a Harvest Moon. But from what I remember people talking about, the developer split ways with the producer, and the producer kept the IP name and gave the franchise to a different developer who then started to make the game different, like it wasn't what it used to be, and then the developer created a new franchise that's more like the original series. I think it's Story of Seasons. Like, I think this is a franchise that used to be beloved, and now it's different, and it's, like, very hit and miss. Like, some people really like the new Story of Seasons game. Some people are like, I like the way it used to be. Again, this is for somebody. I've never played one of these games, but cool for Story of Seasons fans. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I have never played a Metroid Prime game. I was not a Nintendo kid growing up. I had, like, one game on the SNES. I had 2 games on my dad's N64. Like, my parents are also gamers, so, like, they had consoles before I was even born. So, like, I had like Super Mario World on the SNES. I had Ocarina of Time and one other game, like like Ace Combat 64. Like it was a combat flying sim game. God. Yeah, I didn't have that many games. I didn't have a GameCube. The Wii, we had a bunch of like we had Boom Blocks on the Wii, but I think in terms of like mainline Nintendo games on the Wii, I had like Mario Galaxy, Twilight Princess, which is one of my favorite Zelda games. I fucking love Twilight Princess. We did have some GameCube games that could be played on the Wii. Like, I think we had Wind Waker, but my dad played it. I've never played Wind Waker, but I think my dad has a copy of Wind Waker. I digress. It was the special edition, it was the special edition that came with the Master Quest version of, Ocarina of Time. That was it. I remember specifically that's what it was. Or maybe it was no, it was fucking... It was just Ocarina of Time that came with the Master Quest version. It was like a special edition that came with 2 versions of the game. I digress. I've not played a Metroid Prime before. That's my point. I've never played a Metroid Prime. But this looks really good. This looks really good. Like, I can't lie. Shut up. I can't lie. The like psionic powers, like her Samus's like brain powers, where she does like this, and like, or like she grabs shit. She grabs shit. Oh, cool. Now it's... I can't lie. I'm actually genuinely excited for this. I'll wait for reviews. I'll wait to see. And I mean, like... Yeah, I'll wait for reviews before I think about it. And again, for people unaware, I'm only buying Nintendo games secondhand from now on. I'm only buying Nintendo games if I can find them used at my friendly local game store, so that they get the money, and Nintendo doesn't. I'm no longer buying like brand new Nintendo games, like fresh, yeah, new, I guess. I don't know what other word I was looking for. Unopened? I don't know. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Excited for that. What the fuck is this Disney Villains Cursed Cafe? Legitimately? What is this? This looks like Valhalla or Coffee Talk for fucking, like, Disney adults. I don't understand this. Yzma. Hello, Yzma. But yeah, Cruella. Okay, no, actually, real quick. I think they are onto something, because they recognize that every Disney villain is actually a gay icon. Like, look at Hook. Come on. Look at Hook. Look at Gaston in his fucking polo shirt. In his fucking visor. Look at Maleficent's girl boss fit. Look at Ursula in the background. They recognize that every Disney villain is secretly a gay icon. I think Jafar is in this too. Hang on. Yzma, Ursula looks great. Very divine. Yeah, fucking Jafar. Look at Jafar. With his gold earbuds. Fucking umbrella. His serpent umbrella. Jesus. I will say, Dr. Facilier is missing. I have not seen... Yeah, God. Captain Hook. Yeah, no idea. Again, it looks like what I'm imagining is Valhalla or Coffee Talk, but with the replayability and length of like Monster Prom. Because they say like, oh, how you interact with each and every villain will change the story. But I'm also imagining this is for Disney fans who have the attention span of a grapefruit. So the game is going to have to be, oh, it's maybe like half an hour to get through, I would say like an hour at most, if you're really trying to like discover everything and click on every dialogue option. Like an hour-long game, and then you replay it and do things different, see what's going on. Witchbrook. Wow. You are a witch or wizard going to a magical school. That's incredible, but also, if I remember right, you have to get a job because you're in debt. Yeah, look, parcel delivery. This feels very much like a very passionate team. You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. This feels very much like a very passionate team of developers. A very passionate team of Harry Potter fans. We're like, let's just take the baggage out of Harry Potter. Like, look, okay, you're not Witch Hatatelli, Kiki. Like, Kiki's delivery service style, like, very homey, you know, like, oh, you're gonna go, you're just a witch girl, you're gonna go to school, but you gotta get a job, because you're gonna be in wizard debt. You're gonna be in magical debt. No, this looks really cute. This looks really cute, and it genuinely, it doesn't feel like it's trying to capitalize on any particular franchise like any particular magical franchise, you know. It feels very much its own, but also very much inspired by all of those homey, comfy cottage core. This is for the Sapphics. And I am genuinely like, not that like I'm on the lookout for it, but I will be waiting reviews. I will be waiting to see how this game does. Because it's cute. It's cute. The Eternal Life of Goldman. Scrooge McDuck ass. He's bouncing on that thing. Like, he's using it... Scrooge McDuck ass. He's using his cane to bounce on enemies. Again, this looks like it's for somebody. I'm not super excited for this. I think the animations look sick, honestly. Like, looking at it again, I do remember thinking that the animations look very fluid. I'm happy for people, because this looks like it's for somebody. Like, this looks for, you know, the Cuphead fans and the Metroidvania fans and all of those. Like, this looks very good for what it's trying to be. So yeah, I'm excited I'm excited for people to be excited about this. And also, why did they make this King Cobra like enemy like shredded? Why is he actually kind of cut? Alright. Huh? The Eternal Life of Goldman? The Eternal Life of Goldman? Alright. Oh. No more Gradius Origins. Oh well. They took out the Gradius video. No more Gradius. It's fucking Gradius. People know what Gradius is. It collects like it collects like 3 Gradius games and then the 2 Salamander games, which is what Gradius came from, I believe, and then they're also doing Salamander 3. Like, there's an original game in the collection. Rift of the Necrodancer plus Celeste. I know this is for somebody. I know people who are fucking over the moon about rhythm games like this. I loved my time with Hi-Fi Rush, but that's because I liked the story, the characters, the world building of Hi-Fi Rush. The gameplay wasn't dependent on having great rhythm. The gameplay was not dependent on that. It was just a bonus, like you did more damage if you hit the beats in time, which felt really good to do. No, play again. Like, the art in this game looks incredible. The art looks phenomenal. Hi, Celeste. I gotta play Celeste at some point. People fucking adore Celeste. It's, once again, one of those games that passed me by. But yeah, no, this looks fun. This looks fine. I'm excited for people. I think that's kind of the vibe of this first direct, the one from last week, is that a lot of times I was going, wow, that's for somebody, you know, like, oh my gosh, this game is coming to Switch. I'm so happy for people who are excited for this game and also have the Switch. Tamagotchi Plaza. Ow. That's so fucking loud. Get out of here. Can people hear that when I start a video, the audio is on? Can people hear that? I'm like muting it for myself more than anything else. I thought it was really weird that they showed off a lot of this dentist shit in the for Tamagotchi Plaza. Again, this is so cute, and this is for somebody. It looks like negative awesome. This looks like a collection of mini games, and minigame collections don't super appeal to me. Like, and again, wow, I'm so happy for somebody. Alright, Pokemon Legends EA. As always, I will give my disclaimer. I'm a Pokemon fan. I don't like what the Pokemon Company is doing. I think the business practices of the Pokemon Company are skeevy and disgusting, and I hate what they're doing with the Pal World stuff, and also they are extremely lazy developers, or at least lazy producers, and the developers will make something really cool, and the producers will say, that's dumb, don't worry about it. Like, there's all those leaked documents from Pokemon being like, hey, this is 90% implemented, and then the producer saying, nah, scrap it. Which is boring, or not boring, but like, it makes the games boring. It's bullshit. But look, it's Lumio City. Oh look, it's a wild zone in the city. They just have a park where you could beat up wild animals. I don't understand it. But I guess that's just how they make the wild areas work in a city environment. I genuinely thought you'd be able to go outside of Lumio City. I thought the wild area... We have to save money. I genuinely believe that you would make more money. Kind of cringe, not gonna lie. 100%. But yeah, it's Pokemon. It's Pokemon. I'm not gonna lie. I was excited for Legends ZA because Gen 6 is probably my favorite generation of Pokemon. It's what got me back into Pokemon. Okay, this is the only thing that I was actually excited for. That they're doing a Yu-Gi-Oh! Battle City at night in Lumio City. Like, during the day, it's, oh, you can run around with your friend, catch Pokemon, fight wild Pokemon. And then at night, it's a Battle City, fight on site style, like... across the whole city. That was the only thing that was really interesting to me. I'm not gonna lie, seeing more about Legends EA has made me a little less excited for Legends EA. I only just got Legends Arceus because I found it for like $40 used at my friendly local game store. I'm probably also gonna wait another few years for this. And the name makes sense now. Pokemon Legends Z to A, because you go from... you rank up. Yeah. I know this is gonna make absolutely fucking buco de Niro. I know this is gonna make buco de Niro, but like... That sure is just the Pokemon. That sure is just Pokemon. I guess I would also have to see a full battle. Because, like, they showed the real-time, like, oh, you gotta dodge roll, because your Pokemons are fighting with cooldowns and stuff. Like, okay, that's at least an innovation on the gameplay. I've seen things like that done elsewhere, you know, with cooldowns. Hell, Dot Hack that I'm playing right now on Thursdays, that has real-time combat with some cooldowns for stuff, not for basic moves. Just got back, so I didn't realize you were streaming. See my last Discord message? Oof. Yeah, so right now we're talking about the Nintendo Direct from last week. When we get to the Nintendo Direct from this morning, is it okay if I read your hot take out once we get to that? We're just game devs in the world, discover cooldowns. It's fucking, you know, God. That's the thing. Like, the Nintendo Direct from last week, it feels like everybody else was excited for this shit. And again, I'm like, okay, cool. That's a game for somebody. The Nintendo Direct from this morning, I'm not mad about it, but I do think the Nintendo Direct from this morning is kind of an L. And oh, I know the Nintendo fans are going to come after me. I know the diehard Nintendo fanboys are going to come after me, being like, actually, it was a really good Nintendo Direct because they showed off. I shouldn't do that. That is not a constructive conversation to have. I find a shitty high school picture. I want a shitty photo of me superimposed in the background of my picture, of a picture with my hot take. Okay. Yeah. I shouldn't speak like that. I shouldn't, you know, I shouldn't talk down to people that don't hold the same opinions as me. That does not produce a cohesive, or at least a productive conversation. I will get into why I did not like the Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2 in a minute, once we're done here. And I want people to... Oh. Alright, I'm sorry. Patches just sent me a picture of himself. So, Patches is a friend of mine in real life, and he has a beard. I have never seen him clean shaven before, and he just sent me a picture of himself clean shaven, and I'm terrified. I'm terrified. That's not even clean? That's gross. I mean, you're trying for the Patrick Stump sideburns. You're trying for the Patrick Stump sideburns. It was gross. I wasn't a neckbeard, but if anyone assumed that, I cannot blame them. Anyway, yes. To maintain a constructive conversation, I ask that people, if people liked the Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2, I ask that you hear me out once we get to that, so I can break down my issues. That picture in the background with that quote. Oh, God. Alright, so Pokemon Legends EA. New Rhythm Heaven. My one issue with the new Rhythm Heaven, just got a TLDR. Yeah, so, my issue is that this voice feels like... I can't tell if it's AI generated or purposefully AI generated, and I know y'all can't hear it because I've muted it. But I remember hearing that voice at the beginning of Rhythm Heaven and just feeling kind of gross. I don't know if that's just because I was in a weird headspace because it was Nintendo, but yeah, new Rhythm Heaven. I'm excited for Rhythm Heaven fans.
They say we get
all right.
what we deserve.
This was the first, like, kind of... Is this the last? Okay, no, there's still... Yeah, they had a sizzle reel for other games coming to the Switch. High on Life, Wandering Village, King of Meat, Star Overdrive, Lose Lagoon, Fantasy Life, and then a Saga Frontier 2 remaster. Again, happy for Saga. Oh god, there was still more? Okay, Monument Valley, whatever. This was like a Netflix game. Monument Valley 3 was a Netflix game. Let that sink in. Anyway, the Nintendo Virtual Game Card. So, I've seen a lot of people confused by this, or like, okay, so basically, what this allows you to do is, if you have a game that you own on the Nintendo Switch, digitally, you can download it to multiple Switches. You could already do that before. So, what this now does is basically say, when you download a game onto two different Switches, you have to decide which one it's loaded onto. You have to go into a different menu. Hang on, let's see if we can find a... virtual games, loading on a system. Okay, yeah, so download the game, and then you play the game. Sure. Whose virtual games do you want to see? Yeah, there it is. So there's a new section down at the bottom of the screen between the Joy-Con, or between the controller settings and the console settings. Virtual game cards. You load onto somebody's account in a different menu, and like, this is the best they can do, I know, because that's how the Switch menu always looks. Yo, if you want psychic damage, that sure is a picture of you. God. Yeah, so the thing that pisses me off is that between my partner and I, we each have a Switch, and you have to set somebody as the primary account holder, but whoever's Switch it is, at least... So, you download... How it was like, I would download my game onto my partner's Switch, and she could play it. And vice versa, is how it was. But now, or like, a friend of mine could download their digital copy. They would have to log into my Switch, like into the store, but then they could download a copy of their digital game onto my Switch. Now, if you want to share a digital game with a friend, it's like a 14-day thing. Like, okay, you can download your game onto your friend's Switch, but basically, this comes with all of the baggage of a digital game, or of a physical game. If your friend is playing your digital copy of your game, you can't play it. It is downloaded onto their system for like 14 days, for 2 weeks. And you have to unload it from their game, or unload it from their Switch, while on the same Wi-Fi. See if they bring that up here. An internet connection is required only when loading or ejecting. Yeah, so you can download it. You have to be connected to the Wi-Fi to eject your game. You can't even delete the game unless you're connected to the internet. To eject the game, to then load it onto somebody else's Switch. It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. Like, it feels like they're purposefully... I mean, they are. What they're doing is they're taking something that didn't... Like, this was a non-issue. There was no economy behind the digital games before. And they've now created an ecosystem to treat the digital games like physical copies. To say, like, okay, your friend can borrow your copy of your game, But just like a physical disc, if your friend is borrowing your copy of your game, you can't play it. You gotta buy your own copy. I hate it. Nintendo has been conditioning this for so long, though. No, you're right. I was like too young at the time to understand. Like when the Wii came out, I was like 6. I did not understand the economy of a digital game store, digital storefront for a game. Every virtual shop says, okay, I can spend $50 for the essentials. But yeah, I never once interacted with the digital storefront of the Wii. Or the DS for that matter. I think maybe the 3DS I bought like one digital game from on the 3DS. But realistically, digital games I only really started paying attention to on like the PS4. Because I would much rather physically own a game. I would much rather physically hold a disc. And then like, oh no, when I got my own PSN account on the PS3 and I had PlayStation Plus and they started giving me free games. That's when I said, "Oh, I can download this game that they gave me." That's when it really started to click for me. Anyway, bunch of games coming to Switch. Saga Frontier 2. Happy for Saga Frontier 2 Remastered. Happy for Saga Frontier fans. Monument Valley, which are cool little puzzle games. Everybody's Golf. Another PlayStation exclusive coming to Nintendo, which again, I think is really cool. Patapon and then Everybody's Golf. Hot Shots was one. Again, it was a PSP game. I remember having this game on PSP. Get out of here. Get out of here, ads. All right. Yeah, so this or maybe it was called Hot Shots Golf. But Everybody's Golf. Let's see if it says it anywhere. So Patapon had okay, the music is still there. It's just really quiet. So Patapon had the same thing where it was like, oh no, this does say ABY. Okay, cool. I wonder if this is a new entry. I wonder if this is a new entry in the golf franchise. But yeah, no, this was the game franchise where you can unlock like Kratos, Ratchet, Jak and Daxter as like golfers. It was fun. I really liked this game. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. This was one of the last ones they showed off. I'm mad at how good this game looks. Like real quick. Can we take a quick look? Like this cinematic looks awesome. Where's the gameplay? Storm. There we go. Like, it's a beat 'em up where you can swap between different Marvel characters. And it's got, like, the classic brown and yellow Wolverine. This is from the same team that did, like, the Shredder's Revenge game. Hype. No, actually, I'm legitimately... So Nintendo has had a couple, exclusive, developed by Tribute Games. Down there at the bottom it says developed by Tribute Games. Let's look them up. Tribute Games. They did TMNT, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Panzer Paladin 2020. Yeah, they developed TMNT Shredder's Revenge. They are doing Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Games published Steel Assault. Games developed and published Mercenary King, Flint Hook, Ninja Senki DX, Curses and Chaos. Yeah, no, I am genuinely between like this and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Marvel Ultimate Alliance The Black Order. I can't remember what it was called, but that was also like a pretty good like Switch exclusive Marvel game. And this art is really sick. So they've got Captain America, Venom, Storm, Nova, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, and Wolverine. It's a pretty good lineup. I'm not gonna lie, that's really varied on power level. These are like pretty like really good iterations, but they're pretty samey, so I hope we get back to CYOA. Multiple route RPGs. CYOA. Oh, choose your own adventure. God, I'm so dumb. Choose your own. Sabretooth color Wolverine is my fave. Oh my god, with the brown and yellow, it looks so good. I think that looks so good. And then a new Tomodachi Life where they have ears. Remember the Tomodachi game where you could accidentally marry your relative because it got romantic? Anyway, yeah, this looks really fun. I know this is, again, my feeling, honestly, Cosmic and Marvel Cosmic Invasion was the only one where I kind of sat up in my seat like, oh, go on. Because, like, all the way up at the top here, we have, like, the Dragon Quest 1-2 HD. Like, I already knew that was coming. They already announced it. I was already excited for it. The Somnium Files 3. My partner's super excited for that, and I'm so happy for her. I'm so excited for other people. Rido, so excited for other people. Like, yeah, everything that they really showed off, I was, you know, I'm so happy for other people. Yo, Arrow, what's going on? But yeah, the only one that I got, like, that I actually, like, sat up in my seat for, like, go on, was Marvel Cosmic Invasion. But yeah, that's, oh, and Nintendo Today, that's right. They're launching an app for news. Like, every day, they have a new app called Nintendo Today, and it's, I don't see the hype for Tomodachi. It's the same kind of thing that gets people hyped for the Sim games, I want to say. It's sort of that, like, God Sim perspective of, like, I'm gonna make little people that look like my friends, and they're gonna go on little adventures, and they're gonna, you know, oh, you're gonna work at this store. Oh, you two are gonna fight. You know, they're mad at each other. It's a God Sim thing. It's the same. I think it's the same thing for people who get excited for The Sims. Oh yeah, one direct at a time, Arrow. That's next. We're talking about that next, Arrow. One thing at a time. Time to put him in a pool until eat the ladder. Exactly. See, I do that with XCOM, but face extreme guilt that I got them killed in action, and I can't face them anymore past that. Have you ever killed me in an XCOM game? Have you ever killed me in an XCOM game, dude? Am I dead? How could you? You don't want answers. I know. The enemy... I missed with a 99% chance to hit, and the enemy hit me for critical with a 5% chance to hit. You don't want answers to questions you don't want to ask. Yeah, so that was the Nintendo Direct from last week. They put out a new app, I think, tomorrow or something. They said after the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, which we just had this morning, More information will be published on the Today app, which is just a, which goes live later today. All right, so it launched last week. It's a new news app for Nintendo. Every day they have like a little blurb of, oh, here's a fun fact about a Nintendo character and like upcoming news and stuff. I don't know, I just woke up and I can tell they announced and you can tell me they announced Nintendo will be making a game you control with your tongue, and I'd believe it. Sees that fear. She scribbles. No, they don't scribble notes. They copyright it immediately and then sue Arrow. Yeah, this person was talking about tongue game, and we own the rights to tongue game. All right. And then finally, we do have everything announced at today's Nintendo Direct. Can I make this a little bigger? Zoom. Nope, it cuts off the wrong way because the ad's gotta be visible, Polygon. Link used an arrow once, actually. Prepare to meet their lawyers. Joke's on you, I'm half asleep. Rambling is secretly Nintendo R&D. Alright, so, hang on. There we go. Everything announced at Nintendo's. So I woke up for this. So it started at 6 a.m. for me. And I already have alarms set for 6 and 6:30 just to help me, like, get up. But I woke up, I grabbed my phone, turned off my alarm, opened YouTube. It was the first recommended, was, hey, Nintendo live stream. I clicked on that, so I'm laying in bed like this, holding my phone, like one eye open, and I'm just watching them fumble the bag. Again, for people who liked, because I know, at least in like the VOD, I know there's going to be people who... There's going to be people who liked the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. I'm asking you to hear me out. Oh shit, hang on, I should probably see what this text is. Alright. Some Oracle shit. Thank you, Nightbot. Alright. So... yep, release date. We have a release date and a price. It is coming out worldwide June 5th, which is in a couple months. Like a month and 2 months, 3 days, which is fucking wild to me that it's that soon. Taking pre-orders starting in a week. It will MSRP at $450, which is $50 cheaper than a PlayStation 5 or like the Xbox Series, or you can pay that price to get the console and bundled with the only launch title, Mario Kart World. I want a cigar on that. I guessed every price that we're gonna talk about. Really wish I was wrong yesterday. So, before we even get into it, everything that they showed off, Mario Kart World is the only first-party exclusive, like, Nintendo exclusive game coming out. Looks fucking good. I think Mario Kart World does look really good. It is an open-world kart game, which appeals to the person. It appeals to the person in me that really liked The Crew. I played a lot of The Crew back on Xbox One. They have a really cool race system, or there's a race type in this game where you race across the whole map, and as you reach different checkpoints, the person in last place is eliminated, which is really fucking cool. And I think that take that I had is that even though I have feelings, it looks finished, looks thought out. I cannot hate it for that. Yes, regarding that game, which was presented at the end of the Direct. So yeah, this is probably, it could have been Pokemon, coulda. This looks like the best Mario Kart game ever So I'm not mad at Mario Kart alone. I'm not mad at just Mario Kart. I'm mad at the fact that it's wild to me that this is the only like first-party Nintendo exclusive like standalone game for the Switch 2. Everything else that's launching on the Nintendo Switch 2 is either already elsewhere, is not coming out with the launch of the Switch 2, but it's like, oh, here's a game coming for the Switch 2 in 2026. Or it's a game that is already available or going to be launching alongside the Switch 1. Game chat. They made Discord for the Switch 2. In terms of hardware, some cool things that are actually on the Switch 2 is that there's a USB-C charging port on the top and bottom. So you can like dock it and it charges. Or if you have the new really good kickstand going, like it's a really nice kickstand. If you have it up on the kickstand and that USB-C slot is like against the table, you can charge it by plugging it in on top. Switch 1 also came out with Breath of the Wild and a port of Mario Kart 8. Yeah. But didn't they? I thought they had other launch titles. I thought there were other launch titles. I was wrong about one thing, though. The Switch 2 doesn't have a Ghibli filter. Yeah. But yeah, they made Discord for the Switch. Oh, and there's also a fucking camera now. Hang on. The Nintendo Kinect. Where's the Nintendo Kinect? This looks so bad. This is the Nintendo Switch 2 camera. What? Is a legendary heel turn? It's incredible. It's incredible. Oh yeah, I know that neither of those games were exclusive to the Switch. Nintendo is a generation behind in tech, but a generation forward. I can see that. I agree with that. Because in terms of hardware, the Nintendo Switch, the Switch 2 has a hang on. No, my voice. My voice is already starting to go. No, I haven't even started God of War yet. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, the Switch 2. Ares! The Nintendo Switch 2, the screen has a resolution of like 1080p, and I think it's capped at like 45-60 FPS. But in a docked, when it's docked, the screen and docked versions are fully HDR compatible. When it's docked, there are two versions that it runs. It can either run in performance mode. Oh god, it's one of those things where I think the Xbox and the PlayStation have the same settings, where it's either
Taxes.
Get out of here, ads. Nobody cares about taxes. Somebody come quick. I want the most brutal, guttural Ares by the end of the stream. Sir, yes, ma'am. I'm dying here. God, no, what the fuck was I saying? Why would you all do this to me? Oh, the resolution. So, the Switch 2 can run in 4K when docked. On a 4K compatible screen, it can run 4K at like 60 FPS. When not docked, or the other version is 120 frames per second at like 1080p. Forget About It is my new album. Dropping it on SoundCloud. Yeah, no. Like, it has... It's doing better. The Switch 2, again, is doing better. But Yeah, no, definitely doing performance mode. 1080 is more than okay. See, I'm the other way around. I don't give a shit about 120 frames per second. Because that shit only matters if you have the trained eye and you're competitive. Is the only time that many frames matter. The human eye, the average human eye, operates at like 48 frames per second. Is like the normal human eye. A trained human eye can like exceed that. But I don't need 120 frames per second to play Mario Kart. I'm just fine at 60 frames per second in 4K. That would be my preference. I would rather have an increased fidelity and resolution than increased frame rate. But that's just me, and that's why there's two different modes for two different gamers. Yeah, that's the little microphone. That's the microphone in the Switch. So when you're using Discord, I do like the triggers on the Joy-Con. I do like that form factor. That's really good. They also the trigger buttons when you're holding it sideways are now bigger, and they have magnets in them. They are like held on by magnets that have an electrocurrent going through them. You have to press a button to deactivate it to get them to come off. Like, the physical hardware looks good. It looks like genuinely a great innovation on the original Switch 1 hardware. However, I mean, except for the fucking Switch 2 camera, I hate this thing. I'm not gonna lie, I hate the Switch 2 camera. I think it looks dumb. The fucking Nintendo Connect. Because they showed off, we'll fucking get to that. Local play via game share, cool. So you can actually, if you're connected with friends on the internet, or on the same Wi-Fi, you can do game share, which is good. That's great. We'll also have to see the extent of the last gen game upgrades too. The welcome tour. This pissed me off. So this is a mini game collection showing you all of the things that the Switch can do. You walk around this plaza, you talk to people, and there's like all these little mini game doors where it says like, oh, the Joy-Con can do this. And then it has a mini game of like using the motion controls. Or like, oh, feel this feedback, and you have to like, you know, press triggers and stuff. Here's all of the things the Switch 2 can do. Things like this have been like built into like, it was in like the PlayStation 4 for free. One of the best PlayStation 5 exclusive games was something like this built into the PlayStation 5. This is a paid for game. The Nintendo Switch 2 tech demo is a paid for game. The welcome tour, welcome to your Nintendo Switch. I mean, they did the same thing with Ready Set Switch. The Ready Set Switch, which was a launch. Okay, I'm sorry. I guess the Nintendo Switch does have 2 launch titles. God damn it. I don't want to sound like an angry dork online, but yeah. Yeah, no, the Ready Set Switch. Yeah. Wish Nintendo put in the tiny amount of effort to make their Pro controllers as seamless as Xbox. Connecting to PC, those controllers. Magic 40-hour battery life. Oh, the Pro controller, genuinely. The Nintendo Switch Pro controller is really good. Wait. Is that bad? I gotta get out of here.
Brought to you by Rogue.
Get... Warning, this product contains nicotine. I don't care. Why are you advertising nicotine to me? Is it because I'm listening to the Valhalla soundtrack? Is that what's going on? Anyway. I'm just so fucking mad. Took a 40-hour battery and... In regards to not wanting to be an angry nerd ranting at video games on the internet... I feel like you're about to send me something. Motion and voice. Oh, yes, your comment from before. We'll get there. We'll get there. We're just going down the line. So they announced that a bunch of games that are compatible on the PlayStation, compatible on the Switch, will also be compatible on the Switch too, with an asterisk. You can probably play your Switch games on the Switch too, no problem. However, there will be upgrade packs, paid for upgrade packs that come. Super Mario Party Jamboree comes with new mini games. Oh, this is what I was referring. Gotcha. But yeah, they have. I don't think that. Okay, they don't have a fucking picture for it, but yeah, the reason I kept calling this the Kinect is because there's a new minigame of stacking Goombas on your head. Like, you need to use the camera to fucking play some of the new minigames going on in the world that I don't have the energy to get annoyed at Nintendo. That's fair. People can spend their energy however they want. And I'm not even mad. Like, I don't have the energy. I don't want to spend the energy to get mad. I'm just fucking baffled and tired. Patiently awaiting the other thing. Gotcha. We'll get there. Yeah, so sure, some of your games will work on the Nintendo Switch too. You got to pay for the new stuff though. Every one of them comes with a DLC upgrade pack for that resolution upgrade, for that delicious extra content. Enhanced Zelda games, Nintendo Switch 2 edition for Zelda games you already own. Dragon Drive. This looked really cool. This is a 3-on-3 basketball game that you use the motion controls for. Did they say a price? I don't think so. Three-on-3 basketball game for, like, wheelchairs. This legitimately looks so cool. Games that are going to be $80. Yeah, this looks awesome. Did we have a release date? Summer. So it's not even like a guaranteed, like, oh, maybe like a month after the Switch 2 comes out. These are going to be $80. Oh, God. Disgusting. Ugh. Disgusting. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, the Switch 2 price is confirmed. And then you can pay $500. That comes with a bundle with the new Mario Kart game, Mario Kart World. Yeah, so I think Dragon Drive looks really interesting because it utilizes the motion controls. Like, they have that mouse functionality now, which works with... the mouse functionality works with Metroid Prime 4. So you can, like, aim and shoot like a fucking PC game. That's pretty cool. But again, that's only on the Nintendo Switch 2 when you get the upgrade pack. That's only on the Nintendo Switch 2 when you get the upgrade pack.
You might ask yourself, are all internet services created equal?
I don't care, Quantum. Get out of here. Alright. We have all of these games. Gaming journalists, thou art true poets. So yeah, Elden Ring, Split Fiction, Hogwarts Legacy, which is already out on the Switch, I might say. The Switch one already has Hogwarts Legacy. Hades 2, Street Fighter 6, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, Hitman World of Assassination, and Cyberpunk 2077 are among the mini Switch 2 ports revealed during the Nintendo Direct. Civ 7 will implement the Joy-Con's new mouse functionality. New Hyrule Warriors games. Zelda gets fucking isekai'd into the past when Link is asleep. That feels like it's for somebody. I know Hyrule Warriors has its fans. GameCube games come to Nintendo Switch Online. Like, 2 of them. They're doing, oh my gosh. There's gonna be 2 at launch. no, 3. F-Zero, Soul Calibur 2, and Wind Waker are going to be the 3 at launch. And there were... Can they please just let us buy them? Right? In the future, we have Super Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, which is actually fucking huge. Pokemon DX, Pokemon Gale of Darkness DX, Super Mario Strikers, Chibi Robo, Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon Coliseum. Yeah, like a bunch of games, a bunch of GameCube games that I know people are going to be excited for. Coming later, coming sometime, eventually, down the line, whenever. Not even Wario World, big L. Big L. No love for Wario World. From Software has a new game, expected news and prayed for more Bloodborne. FromSoft instead made a splash direct, seemingly totally original. Yeah, okay, exclusively on the Switch 2 before it launches in 2026. New FromSoft game exclusive on Switch 2 next year. I think that's fucking awesome, but that's what it is? That's what is? Huh? Yeah, no, the expansion pass price. Oh, yeah. Yeah. FromSoft game, exclusive Switch 2. God damn it, have we learned nothing about the tragedy of Bloodborne getting stuck on a console? They just had the 10th anniversary and said nothing. New Kirby Air Rider. I think, what was it called before? Kirby Air Ride? Yeah, sequel to Kirby Air Ride. But it's not a launch title. Honestly, at this point in the Direct, I was so mad because I thought, oh my god, are the first 2 Switch 2 exclusive games going to be racing games? No, this is coming out just sometime this year. It's not going to be a launch title, but we're going to get another racing game on the Switch. Don't worry, on the Switch 2. Here it is. We have a new Donkey Kong game. What the fuck does Prismatic Thrills mean? Here's the thing. It's the second to last sentence right above DK. New game aims to faithfully reproduce its prismatic thrills. What the fuck does that mean? Shut up, Nintendo. Oh no, was that Nintendo's words, or... Oh, I guess that is just what Polygon is saying. Hey, Polygon, what do you mean by that? What does prismatic thrills mean, Polygon? Hey, look, Donkey Kong. This was written by AI? Gross. Wait, hang on. We'll come back to this, because I think... Hang on. We'll come back to Donkey Kong Bonanza. We'll come back. Matt Patches. It was written by Matt Patches. Use the word buttload, prismatic thrills, which means nothing. Do I have an evil twin? I'm gonna be 1000%. I do not like Donkey Kong's new redesign. However, I do think this game looks fun to play. I think this game looks incredibly thought out. I think the gameplay looks tight and fun. I'm not a huge fan of the art direction. Map. Redesign looks weird. Everything else looks great. But that's not my Donkey Kong. Her? Her? Look, Nintendo knew what they were doing. They gave her the same, like, Bayonetta bifocals. They gave her the same half rims. So let me go back to Patch. So Patches sent me a comment specifically about Donkey Kong Bonanza. Just remember to get tested later. I am gonna judge, and this is going to be on the internet forever. So, just watch the DK clip. So this is from Patches, from this morning after I'd already gone live. I wish Nintendo would have just let would have just said Donkey Kong sucks and they are never gonna make a new one and just sit on the IP forever. They turned him into Banjo-Kazooie. I would like to ask, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by sit on the IP forever, they turned him into Banjo-Kazooie?
Made for dream chasing.
Because the Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts was still made by the same company, still made by Rare, the Donkey Kong Country company. And Nuts and Bolts was like an Xbox exclusive, and there was pressure from the overalls, the stance. He's not the defender of the island. He's not fighting Kremlins the way he moves. I see what you mean. They kind of... He's had a 3D Donkey Kong game on the N64. It's just been a long-ass time. Donkey Kong, he moves snappy like Banjo. Donkey Kong is smooth. So, hang on, let me... And he's just some doofy guy here. I love attitude dumb DK. So I understand what you mean. First of all, I see what you mean. They gave him the fucking overalls. Yeah, no, I do. Or they gave him the suspenders. He's got suspenders, he's got pants now. DK looking like he's about to overdose. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of the redesign. I want just the tie. I want him just wearing a tie. Yeah, he's softer. And we've talked about this before in the past patches where Nintendo is trying to strip away the legacy of Rare games. They've grabbed hold of their IP and they're forcing back that legacy. Can have DK cheeks. The hell are we fighting for? It's so fucking stupid. Nintendo just hates the Kremlings and wants to remove them. Oh yeah, like that was in like an internal producer note where they were like, we're not doing Kremlings. Like, we're not doing that. Like, also no sign of Diddy Kong. No sign of the extended Kong family from Rare's. Like, this is completely removed. This might as well be a completely separate character. Like, I think this game looks really cool, and I will say I am excited for this game. However, it feels completely removed from every other Donkey Kong game for the last 20 years. It doesn't even feel connected to the original Donkey Kong. It doesn't feel connected to DK64, which was the other 3D platformer. Oh, was that Is that Tropical Freeze? The pig is the antithesis to rare DK design. I'm talking about, was it Tropical Freeze? Or Donkey Kong Country Returns? Returns and Freeze? Yeah, okay. Yeah, like I said, I am excited for it. This is just not my Donkey Kong. Hashtag not my DK. Hashtag not my DK. But yeah, that's the last thing that they showed off to get people really hyped. The game drops a month after the Switch 2 on July 17th. Hashtag not my DK. Because again, everything else about the game looks so tight, looks so good. Credit where credit is due. If it were anyone other than DK. Other than DK, I'd be psyched. Okay, sorry, God, fucking... Could've used some capitals in there so I could tell some fucking words apart. Credit where credit is due. For anyone else than DK, I'd be psyched. Yeah, no. I just squint to read that. That was unintentionally. So yeah, that's everything I really had to talk about this morning. Just in time. It is 11 a.m. where I am, which is literally right when I start streaming for games. So I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm probably gonna get like a snack or something, and then we're gonna come back with some God of War Ascension. So I'm gonna end the VOD here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for hanging out. If you want to know when I go live, you can follow me on Twitch. If you have any gaming news that you want me to talk about or to share for the streams, there is a Discord server with a specific there's a specific what you call it, channel. There's a channel to drop links and whatnot. There's also go live notifications. All of the games that I play are voted on. Well, 75 to 80% of the games that I play are voted on by the Discord server. All that good stuff. So yeah, if you want to say what I play next, the Discord server is the place to do it. That's also where I take gaming recommendations. Let's do, just for people hanging out, let's do some socials. Yeah, so for the YouTube VOD, I'm gonna get out of here. Be good, be kind, treat people the way that you want to be treated, and I'll catch you in the next one.